The family farm seemed a bit unusual today. The field was full of people, cars, dogs, and a man with a loudspeaker. And in the field there were 2 posts and a sheep pen. Oh dear, what was going on? And there were even more cars and vans coming down the street.
Is it Nell, the sheepdog's birthday today?
Asked Gertie the goat. No, I don't think so, said Tec.
Well then, why are there so many dogs here today?
They've come for the sheepdog trials, said Tec.
Sheepdog trials? What are they?
But Tec didn't have time to explain. He sped off in a hurry.
Where are you going in such a hurry?
Asked Henry the horse.
I'm going to watch Nell compete. Do you want to come with us?
No chance. I'll watch from here, thank you.
Henry didn't like dogs very much. When Tec reached the field, Molly shouted to him, "Hurry up! Nell will be competing in a minute!" Then a voice could be heard over the loudspeaker.
The first contestants are ready. Hugh Gold and his dog Flash. Flash is 6 years old, but he is definitely not new to these competitions.
What do they have to do, Molly? Asked Tec. Molly explained that the dog and its owner had to drive the sheep around the field and into the pen, and the one that finishes the quickest is the winner. Would you like to do that, Tec? Asked Molly.
Oh yes, I really would, but I can't whistle.
And he had trouble remembering left from right. Go on, get them into the pen. Well done, Flash, whispered Tec. Yes, Flash had managed to finish the course and gather the sheep together very quickly. And everyone was clapping and cheering.
Give them a big round of applause, please. And the next 2 contestants are Helen Jones and Petra,
said the announcer. Hey, Molly, I think that Nell is going to win. She's good at driving sheep. Molly looked around. Where's Nell? She asked. I have no idea, said Tec. Nell had disappeared, and it was her turn next. Tec and Molly went to look for her. Nell! Nell! Called Molly. They looked everywhere, but Nell was nowhere to be seen. When they reached the yard, Tec looked in the sheds and Molly checked the house. Was Nell in the first shed? No. Was she in the next one? Nell! Nell! Shouted Tec.
Meh, meh. Nell is not in here, Tec,
said the sheep. And the lambs hadn't seen her either. And she wasn't in the house. Oh dear, where could she be? Have you seen Nell? Tec asked the ducks. But the ducks hadn't seen her either. Nell! Shouted Molly. But there was no point in calling. She was nowhere to be found. Oh dear, perhaps Nell is frightened of all these people and she's hiding in a quiet little corner, said Tec. Perhaps you're right, said Molly. Aha! Where does she usually go when she's frightened? To the furthest corner of the machine shed, of course, said Tec. You're right. Good thinking, Tec. With that, they ran off to the shed. Tec was right. Nell was there, shaking in the corner of the machine shed. Well, what are you doing here, little Nell? Molly asked. Nell wasn't happy at all. She whispered in Molly's ear. No, she didn't want to compete. Well, don't you worry. I know that you're as good at driving sheep as any other dog. So you don't have to compete if you don't want to, said Molly. Off they went, back to the field to watch the competition. It's a good thing that we found her, isn't it, Tec? Said Molly, smiling. Look, Tec, said Molly. There are Edward Pond and Spot competing. The three of them continued to watch the competition carefully. Well done, Spot, whispered Tec. Are you sure that you don't want to compete, Nell? Asked Tec. No, she'd much rather watch, Molly told Tec. Then, suddenly, they heard Edward calling and calling to Spot. But Spot had left him on his own, and the sheep were racing in all directions. Come on, Nell, let's help, said Molly, and Nell drove all the sheep back onto the course. Try to keep it slow, Nell, said Tec. Take your time, Nell, said Molly. Nell drove the sheep safely through the two posts and into the pen. Hopefully, she would get them all in. Watch out for those sheep, Nell, whispered Tec. The sheep moved closer and closer to the pen until finally they were all inside and Molly closed the gate. Well done, Nell, said Molly, very pleased with her dog.
Hooray! Shouted Tec. You were fantastic, Nell.
It was an unforgettable day.